is Amy, and I'd like to take you around the world with story time. Today, I'd like to start with Australia. Let's look at Australia on the map. So you'll see over here, this is where we live in the United States of America in New York. Australia is all the way around the globe down here. You'll notice that it's surrounded by water. It's considered an island country. So if you were to visit or live in Australia and you saw a friend, a common greeting would be good day or hello. Let's look at Australia's flag. So just like our flag in America, the colors are red, white, and blue. If you look a little closer, you'll see that there's a T and an X in the corner with some scattered stars. Let's count the stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars. That's a pretty flag. Where we live here, we call our money a dollar or a US dollar. In Australia, they also call their money a dollar or an Australian dollar. Because this country is surrounded by the ocean, there's lots of beautiful wildlife that lives there. Fish and all other creatures. You can go swimming in the coral reef and you'll see something like this. This is a piece of coral. It's hard like a shell or a stone kind of. It's pretty cool and very beautiful in person, and it comes in all different bright colors. People who are native to Australia are called Aboriginal. This is a painting that was painted by an Aboriginal artist. If you look even closer, you'll see that their artwork is traditionally done with lots and lots of colored dots. How many dots do you think it took to paint this painting? It's quite large, and I would say probably thousands of dots, so probably many, many hours. So let's read some stories about Australia. My first book is nonfiction. So it's not really a story, it's more like facts and information. It's called Let's Explore Australia, and I'm reading it to you today with permission from Learner Books. A visit to Australia. Australia lies between two oceans. It is a big island. It is below Asia. Australia has dry deserts. It has many hills. Rainforests cover other areas. Koalas live in forests. They live in trees. They eat leaves. Why do you think that koalas eat leaves? Kangaroos also live in Australia. Mother kangaroos have pouches. They carry their babies in them. Can you see the baby down there? Australia has many towns that are small and big cities. Sydney is one of the biggest cities. Many people visit Australia. They dive at the Great Barrier Reef. They see fish and coral. What other sea creatures might you see at the Great Barrier Reef? Many Australian foods use meat. A popular dish is meat pie. It is meat and dairy in a crust. Looks good. Cricket is a top sport. It is a bit like baseball. Many people play or watch cricket. How is cricket similar to baseball? Take a look. What do you think? Australia is a beautiful place. There are many things to see. Would you like to go to Australia? The end. My second book is a story or fiction. It's made up. and I'm reading it to you today with permission from Scholastic Books. It's called The Koala Who Could. In a wonderful place where the day was just dawning and the breezes blew soft on a warm golden morning, in a place where the creatures ran wild and played free, a koala named Kevin clung to a tree. Do you see him there? He's holding on tight. A nicer gray fellow could never be meet, as soft as a soft thing from ear tufts to feet. His favorite way to relax in the sun was to cling and to nap and to munch a leaf bun. And after all this, well, he'd need a nice rest. Yes, Kevin liked sticking to what he knew best. You see, high up was safe, since he liked a slow pace, while the ground down below seemed a frightening place. Too fast and too loud, and too big and too strange. Nope, Kevin preferred not to move or to change. So he clung to his tree as he knew what to do, and was never too keen to try anything new. So when Wombat stopped by and shouted one day, "Hey Kevin, why don't you come down? Come down here and play." I think, he replied, I should stay on my plant. I'm busy right now. No, I'm sorry, I can't. Why not? Cried the Ruse with a super loud cheer. Yes, why? Called the Dingoes. There's nothing to fear. But Kevin, who'd never been one to act fast, said, I've cleaning to do, and it's nice that you asked. As Kevin sat watching them chatter and share, a part of him wished he could join them down there. But he knew he'd miss home. It was dark and so late. The whole thing was risky. Adventure could wait. Whatever the invite, he'd always say no. Oh dear. It seemed Kevin just couldn't let go. So his life was the same no matter the day. The weeks came and went and the months rolled away. And Kevin stayed still while the world moved around until he awoke to a worrying sound. Tap, tap, tap. The sound went. Well, this was a blow. Tap, tappity, tap, 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 tap. Oh no! Uncling, the crowd called, which had gathered below. Leap and we'll catch you. Just let yourself go. But Kevin was scared. Let go? No, I shan't. I won't, shouted Kevin. Oh dear, I just can't. Whoop! Down came the tree with it was bringing crash and a wallop, and Kevin still clinging. Kevin, he carefully opened one eye and looked up at this love staring down from the sky. Then one paw by one paw he loosened his hold. He felt springy and light and happy and bold. The worst thing he could think of had now come to pass, and he was just fine, while he felt quite first class. So when Wombat leaned over and held out his paw, Kevin no longer felt worry or doubt. When Dingo asked, now will you come out to play? The crowd all joined in with a, what do you say? And even though this wasn't part of the plan, Kevin replied, yes, I think that I can. Because life can be great when you're trying something new. The And I hope you like traveling to Australia with me. I hope you tune in again and we'll travel to another country.